It was the middle of summer, just mere days before summer break. Your entire class had come together, or more specifically, 3 friend groups making up about half of your class. For something your classmate Mitsuri Kanroji wanted to turn into a thrice-yearly tradition, meaning this little get-together would from now on always happen the week before any bigger break until graduation in about 3 years. A colorful group of people was here. Obviously there was Mitsuri, then your best friend Shinobu, and Tengen Usui's 3 girlfriends who were only here to protect you and Mitsuri. And to make Tengen super jealous, as he was busy tonight. Then there was Sanemi, which surprised you. The explosive white-haired boy rarely participated in group events, so something out of the blue like this seemed uncharacteristic of him. Maybe he was planning something, or he knew more about this get-together than he let on. There was also Michiro, who more or less just bumped into the activity and was promptly welcomed into the group. Zenitsu and Inosuke, the pig mask wearing hothead, didn't let a potential challenge go to waste. And no one really wanted to ruin the mood by kicking him out. Of course there was Tanjirou and his sister Nezuko as well, and Rengoku, the blonde being one of the ringleaders here. As it turns out, the get-together was his idea, while Mitsuri was here to choose the activity. Everyone else in your class had declined to join the occasion. With bated breaths, now everyone was sitting around in the big common room of your dorm, until Mitsuri jumped up with a bottle of pink soda in her hands. She was excited. "I bet you're all wondering why I pulled this together," she said louder than she needed to. All eyes were on her. Honestly, if you were in her shoes right now, you probably would have a small anxiety attack. "As you know," she started, her volume now much more manageable, "we have been studying almost non-stop." An uncomfortable groaning went through your classmates. Clearly they cautiously agreed. "And despite Hashira High trying with little events and all that to distract us from this... what do we call it?" Sanemi scoffed. "Just call it war, that's how it feels." Tanjiro huffed. "Sanemi, I think that's a little too far." The boy shrugged and scoffed. He was visibly holding back a spout of violence which could be felt in the entire group. Mitsuri blinked cautiously. Everyone was now a bit taken aback. It was on to her to fix the mood. "Okay," she said. "I'll get to the point." Immediately she put the bottle of pink soda to her mouth and completed the half-liter of carbonated liquid in under a minute. "Oh, that was hot," muttered Zenitsu, just loud enough for everyone to hear, but also quiet enough so everyone could pretend they didn't hear it. Mitsuri then slammed the bottle on the table. "Truth or dare, heaven or hell, with jokers!" she shouted energetically. A confused hum went through the group, until Rengoku stood up. Crossing his arms, he semi-confidently began to explain. "It's simple. The first person spins the bottle and whoever it hits has to say a truth, do a dare, or play 7 minutes in heaven. Everyone has a joker, which can be used by the person spinning to make someone do something the target has no choice, unless the unfortunate target can use their joker to veto, turning it into a regular round again. However, the targeted player then loses their joker and the spinner keeps theirs. So, here's an example round." Shook went through the group as he grabbed the bottle and pointed it directly at Mitsuri. "Mitsuri, what can I do for you?" She giggled in response. How about I play it safe and just tell the truth?" Rengoku then shook his head and laughed from the bottom of his heart. "Ha ha ha ha! Nope, I'm playing my joker. Time for a dare." Mitsuri then took the bottle and set it back up. "And that's how you play." With a shaking voice, he raised a finger. Where does the hell part come from? Mitsuri shrugged. I mean, do you want to be stuck 7 minutes in a dark closet with this guy? She pointed at Zenitsu. Wait, what did I do? He shouted. Nothing. Yet. The entire friend group went silent as the pink-haired girl slammed both arms on the table. Well, who's in? You wanted to leave. You really did. Social scenarios like this weren't your forte. But then again, your anxiety also didn't allow you to leave unless someone else was doing so as well. Seconds turned to minutes, until finally Sanami took hold of the bottle. He set it down and spun it before leaning back on the sofa. Everyone stared at him, and then the bottle landed on Zenitsu. The game had gone on for an hour. By now, most players, more specifically the girls, had opted out. Either because theirs became too much, or the truths too juicy. Up until now, no one took the advantage of the 7 minutes in heaven rule. Not even Zenitsu. As of right now, you had lost your Joker. And also, you and Mitsuri were the only girls left. Against all 6 guys. The only girls still interested in the outcome, however, had retreated to a nearby coffee table and were patiently ogling at the game. Okay, Tanjirou, truth or dare? Growled Sanami. As the boy with the flame scar was thinking, Mitsuri nudged you with her elbow. Hey, I have an idea. You looked at her. Huh? Say 7 minutes on whoever gets you next. You blinked in confusion and simply asked, Why? Well, it would be interesting. Come on, I'll do it too. Unless it's Zenitsu or Inosuke. You blushed. I mean, maybe excuse me? That was Tanjirou. It is pointing at you. Your jaw dropped. Well, that was quick. Your heart raced. Should you do it? You looked at Mitsuri, who started to innocently hum. You bit your lower lip and looked at the floor. The silence was deafening and whispers started from the girl's table. Well, you know you're disqualified when you need more than 60 seconds to come up with something, said Tanjiro encouragingly. That rule was added after Makio couldn't decide, and to stay in the game just a bit longer, she just mumbled, I'll give you my Joker if I can think for a bit longer, alright? You inhaled deeply, having made your choice. I go in the closet with you. Silence. Mitsuri burst out into laughter while blushing really hard, while the girls' table immediately started going apeshit. All of them were talking over each other, and as Tanjiro was blushing, he tried to make himself as small as possible, and just looked at the back wall out of sheer anxiety. I'll get over with it then, shouted Sanami impatiently. The boy stood up and grabbed Tanjiro by the shirt, and pushed him over to you. Have fun, you two, Christ! With a metaphorical tail between your legs, both you and him went into the dark closet. With a loud clong, the door was thrown shut by Inosuke. He seemed to be just as pissed as Sanami at your slowness. God, I hate it when people want something but don't follow through on that shit. You are standing opposite to Tanjiro, both of you shivering in fear. I didn't think I would be chosen for this. Well, you shouldn't have wasted your Joker then, you retorted. Yeah, but Sanami wanted... You know, Sanami wanted me to hiss my underpants on the school's flagpole. That went a little far. You gulped out enough for him to hear. You scratched the back of your head. Well, do you want to do something? Tanjirou was confused. He thought that 7 minutes in heaven was a cute kissing game. Well, aren't we supposed to kiss? He said, with a weak smile. Yeah, we are. Very uncomfortably, both of you got closer to each other. I think I would be more comfortable with this with a bit of more light, said the boy. I disagree, you said. Understandable. A few seconds passed. You only had 5 more minutes. So, who starts? Tanjirou sighed. I guess me. You know, because I'm the guy and that's how it's supposed to be. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. It's almost like he was asking you. Unless you find that offensive? No, I don't. I think I would actually like that. Okay, let's start with a hug then. His arm shakily wrapped around you. You returned the gesture. Both of your breaths were coming quick. It's funny, really. Really funny. How we are supposed to be. You know. It's funny, really. We hunt demons on an almost daily basis, and we can't do a simple thing like kiss. Maybe if you said something nice, like I'm cute or something, then we'll make it easier. You don't have to, of course. You're cute, Tanjirou. I like you a lot. Mentally you added, as a friend. A second later your foreheads gently bumped into each other. Yeah, this is working, he said awkwardly. He was slowly finding his confidence. That was great. But maybe his confidence came a little too quick as you suddenly felt something warm press against your lips. You groaned in surprise. It wasn't uncomfortable. And it didn't feel wrong. Was that a sign that he was doing it right? Your heart pounded against your chest as his lips moved, soft and warm. You could feel your mind and worries melt away as his touches became more daring. It was as if both of you were hyping each other up. Not that that mattered to you right now. Your body was weak and you fell forward a bit. His head hit the wall with a mild thud. You removed your face from him. He was breathing heavily. You were about to say sorry, but you could just barely let out a sorry before once again your lips were sealed by his mouth. A slow burn had now become a forced fire as both of you hungrily devoured one another. It was then you felt something prod against your closed lips. Was he trying to enter your mouth? You whimpered as your defenses gave away with desire. Slowly you allowed him purchase, opening his lips in the process. The tips of your tongues barely touched each other. Cautiously at first, like two spiders about to mate. A slow, passionate dance began. Your tongues touched, wet and sticky. And slowly they melted into each other. A soft, pleasurable feeling of warmth overcame you. However, you panicked. The 7 minutes were about to be up, and you knew neither of you could handle being seen like this. Luckily, you let go. Immediately you missed that feeling inside your mouth. Slowly you swiped away the salvia around your lips, while he slowly turned on the light on his phone to wipe away your lipstick. both of you are blushing hard. And just when he turned off his phone's light, the door was opened by Zenitsu, whose face turned to that of a thankfulness. Clearly, he was relieved that seemingly the two of you had done nothing, as he shouted in the room behind him. "They were just sitting, guys!" Before he gave Tanjirou a death stare. "You wasted an opportunity such as this! I'll never forgive you!" cried the electric blonde. Thank you to the people who are supporting me on Ko-fi. You guys are keeping me alive.